Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. Today, we are discussing a Rolex certified pre-owned Oyster Perpetual GMT-Master 2. This is the 126720VTNR. This is the lefty, originally introduced in 2022 in 904L steel. It is dimensionally similar to its right-handed cousin. You can see 40 millimeters in diameter, 12.1 millimeters thick, lug-to-lug, just the case, 48.1 millimeters. Add the end links of this rather unusual Jubilee bracelet combination, and the total distance across the wrist is 49.5 millimeters. We have a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. We'll pop this open and we'll throw it on my wrist. I'm going to take my glove off for a moment just so you can actually see my wrist. But this is a watch with a lefty crown. It is an ambidextrous watch. You do not have to be a lefty to wear it well. And there you can see, no problem, no ergonomic compromises. My wrist is 16 centimeters circumference. It fits beautifully. It sits lovely. It's fairly thin. It will slide under a cuff. It's an elegant watch, and with the Jubilee bracelet, maybe perhaps just a little more so. I'd recommend it for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Down the barrel is always the definitive angle, and here is over the top. Okay. We'll bring back my left-handed glove here for my left-handed watch. Taking a look at the Jubilee, you can see it's got a little bit of conforming end length, though it does have pivoted end links too, so it doesn't stick out far beyond the lug profile. The Jubilee bracelet, since at least 2005, has been very robust with solid center links that give it a more sporting feel, less play, more substance, greater strength and integrity, such that you really don't need the 3-link Oyster bracelet for severe use cases anymore. The Jubilee is strong enough, and it vents better, and it also has smaller links, which means it's a little bit more supple on the wrist. You can see we have polished outer faces, we have satin finished shoulders, polished centers with a little bit of a staggered link alignment. We have quite a few removable links. You can see screw fixed removable links in the bracelet. We've got the Easy Link 5 millimeter snap in, snap out, tool-free adjustment. And then you can see inside the clasp, 3 pairs of divots, so you can dismount the spring bar with your strap tool, change the anchoring point, and fine-tune the fit. We have an Oyster clasp here. You can see it's a double lock. It has the spring-loaded lift lock with the beak and then the hook there, so you snap those together. That's the first lock. The clamshell is the second. This is actually a double-locked clasp. Polished satin both. You can see there's a little kerf underneath the 5-point coronet, so you can pop it open if you wish to do so, easily digging in your nail. Case back, screwed in, Oyster style, crown, screw down, trip lock. You know it's a trip lock in steel because it has 3 symmetrical dots, 100-meter water resistance. The watch features a combination of satin brushed lug hoods and a polished flank. 904L steel, high nickel content, stainless steel, more resistant to corrosion than regular watchmaking 316L steel. So if you do expose this to sweat or sea salt, failing to rinse it will not cause corrosion. With 316L, it can, but this is the good stuff, 904L, so you have no concerns there. The bezel features a combination of satin finish and polishing on its sharp knurling outboard, and then we have cerachrom ceramic in both green and black, PVD deposit of platinum for all the numerals and indices, so that will be tarnish-free over time. The dial includes a black lacquered base, which is rich and lustrous. You can see we have the date over at 9 o'clock with the Cyclops eye magnifier. The hands, as well as the indices, are white gold, so they'll never tarnish or oxidize. I'm going to unscrew all this so you can better see those individual hands. Of course, when you pull the crown out all the way, you activate stop seconds or hacking, so you can set the watch to the second against a reference time. Now we have 4 hands, seconds, hours, minutes, and then the 24-hour hand. The 12 and 24-hour hands can be set separately, so you can represent 2 time zones on the dial. Now if you do set that 24-hour hand to Greenwich Mean Time, you can then use the bezel to calculate a 3rd time zone. So you have your local, Greenwich Mean Time, and then off the bezel you use the GMT offset of your destination airfield or port. So for example, right there, if Greenwich Mean Time is 7 a.m. and you're going to a place that is GMT plus 2, you turn it counterclockwise, 1, 2. There you go right there. Or maybe it's 7 a.m. and you're going to a place that is GMT minus 2. Then you turn it clockwise, 1, 2. And that's how you read a temporary 3rd time zone off of the bezel. If you want to know how all this works, you can see the winding of the crown and the screw down of the crown is sort of performed the same as if it were on the opposite side. You turn it in a clockwise direction. Rolex has its own luminescent material, chromolite, which is blue and bright and retains its luminescence through the night. All four hands are loomed, so you know exactly what time it is in the dark inside the case. By the way, Rolex making case, clasp, bracelet, dial, movement, even small parts like hands, indices, shock protection springs, hair springs, and the lubricants themselves used in these movements. This is caliber 3285, bidirectional automatic winding, and the rotor is on a ball bearing. It's a 4 Hertz beat rate, 70-hour power reserve, the unique Liga formed chronergy escapement. We've got 31 jewels. We have a movement size that I believe is 28.5 millimeters in diameter. And this is a movement that has a full balance bridge, a free sprung balance for shock resistance, an overcoil hairspring shaped by hand. But don't quote me on that 28.5 millimeter size, but I can definitely tell you it has an overcoil hairspring shaped by hand, and that overcoil makes it positionally agnostic and keeps very good time in all physical orientations. And Rolex takes the chronometer certified basic movement, which meets the COSC standard, cases it up, tests it in 6 positions to run no worse than -2 +2 seconds per 24 hours. And that's very impressive because the COSC chronometer is -6 +4. This is better than +2 -2. Now that overcoil is also made of a highly anti-magnetic alloy in niobium zirconium. Rolex blue oxidizes it to stabilize it, called cerachrom blue, and it is highly anti-magnetic. So you have shock resistance, water resistance, and anti-magnetic resistance, plus the 2 independent time zones. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details. Rolex certified pre-owned watches are backed and authenticated by Rolex. Should any reconditioning be necessary, it will be to a Rolex certified standard, and any parts invested, Rolex factory original. Should the initial retail box, paper, and accessory set still accompany the watch, it will be included with the sale. But no matter what, a certified pre-owned box and paper set starts with an outer box, a leatherette travel pouch with suede lining, a warranty card that embodies the 2-year globally valid Rolex-backed warranty. Note, this is not a retail warranty, but backed by Rolex and actionable at any of its authorized points of sales and service. A leatherette wallet includes the warranty terms and conditions manual. A holographic hang tag marks this as a certified pre-owned Rolex watch, and a manual details Rolex's values as a company, the certified pre-owned program, care, feeding, service, and use of your Rolex, locations of points of sales and service, and details of Rolex.com. Rolex certified pre-owned watches are backed only by Rolex.